Hello and welcome to Self-Care during COVID-19. My name is Jenny Ellsworth. I am an intern at the Counseling Center at MSU. So you've probably heard a lot about the importance of self-care since the pandemic began, and more specifically since the shelter-in-place and social distancing orders went into effect. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what self-care is and why it's so important. And I'll briefly highlight some tips on how to get started because some of us might be new to self-care. And then lastly, I'm going to highlight 6 areas of self-care and provide some examples of ways to engage in self-care for each category. I hope that this presentation will provide you with some new ideas for self-care during the pandemic. So what is self-care? When we're asked the question, when we go to the doctor, do you take care of yourself? Most of us would answer yes, of course I take care of myself. What kind of question is that? But when someone asks you, in what ways do you take care of yourself? That's where things get a little bit trickier. Although self-care is a simple concept in theory, it's something that we very often overlook, which can lead to negative effects on many aspects of our lives, because good self-care is key to living a balanced life. So self-care is any activity that we deliberately do to take care of our physical, mental, and emotional health. Self-care is important because it helps us to maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves. Not only are we taking our needs into consideration and recognizing what we need to do to take care of ourselves, we're subsequently allowing ourselves to be available to take care of others as well. If we don't care for ourselves, we won't be in a good place to care for others. While some people may misconstrue self-care as selfish, it's far from that. When we pay adequate attention to our well-being, we're not considering our needs alone. We're reinvigorating ourselves so that we can be the best version of ourselves for the people around us. Everyone around us also benefits from the renewed energy and joy we exhibit when we practice self-care. So you might be thinking, well, all that information is great, but how do I actually get started? Well, here are some tips for you to get started practicing self-care. It's important to give yourself permission to spend time doing things for yourself. If you feel guilty about taking time for you instead of doing homework or something else, remind yourself that it's not a selfish act. Stick to the basics. Over time, you'll find your own routine and what works best for you. Small steps of self-care have a cumulative effect. Self-care needs to be something you actively plan rather than something that just happens. It has to be an active choice, and you must treat it as such. Add certain activities to your calendar. Announce your plans to others in order to increase your commitment, and actively look for opportunities to practice self-care. The activities that you choose to do as part of your self-care routine need to be consciously done. If you don't see something as self-care or don't do it in order to take care of yourself, it won't work as self-care. We need to be aware of what we do, why we do it, how it feels, and what the outcomes are. As I mentioned, we're going to cover 6 areas of self-care in this presentation. There are more areas, but we're going to just focus on 6. First, we're going to talk about physical self-care, which includes movement of the body, nutrition, and sleep. While self-care can look different from person to person, there are some types that are recommended for everyone, and they all are in the realm of physical self-care. Good sleep, physical activity, and attending to your nutritional needs. These are the foundation of basic physical and mental health. Here are some suggestions. Go for a walk, hike, jog, or bike ride. Remember to maintain social distancing even when outside. Stay 6 feet apart from everyone who is not in your household. And when you're outside, feel the sun, breathe the fresh air. There are a lot of online workouts. YouTube has a lot. Yoga with Adriene is popular. The Mankato YMCA does Live with the Y every day, I think. And then Fitness Blender is a website, and you can click on those links and they'll take you directly to the site. You can have a dance party. Research shows that you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep consistently every night in order to be well rested and perform optimally. Anything less than a consistent basis will impact functioning, so stick to a nighttime routine. Try your best to eat healthy, well-balanced meals. If you like takeout, you could challenge yourself to eat healthier takeout or to cook 1 or 2 meals at home every week. Try to limit or completely avoid caffeine, alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, and other drugs. Next is psychological self-care, which involves learning new things, thinking creatively, and finding inner motivation. Here are some suggestions. Read news from trustworthy sources. Avoid media outlets that build hype or dwell on things that cannot be controlled. Instead, turn to sources that give reliable information about how to protect yourself and others, such as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Focus on the facts. Set limits on your media consumption. Limit the amount of time that you spend engaging in social media or reading the news. Engage in activities or distractions that replace focusing on COVID-19. These can be art, music, writing, cooking, reading, or playing with pets. Watch a new show or movie, or rewatch a favorite series. Learn an instrument or a language. Pick up a skill or hobby that you've always wanted to do. Practice mindfulness. There's another on-demand presentation at the Counseling Center website where you can learn about mindfulness. Try to focus on what you can control. Work to stay in the moment. Also, there's an app, the Calm app offers guided meditations, sleep assistance, videos on mindful movement, and soothing music. Control what you can. Accept and cope with things that are outside of your control. You can't always be able to control what happens, but we can always control how we react. If your mental health is impacted by the stress of COVID-19, then you may want to seek professional help. As you can see, the Counseling Center website and phone number are listed for you. Emotional self-care involves managing stress effectively, developing compassion for self and others, and navigating emotions. And here are some tips. Think about what you're grateful for. You can do this by journaling or by writing down 1 or 2 things you're grateful for every day. It can be as simple as Wi-Fi and Netflix, but just try to write different things every day. Watch a favorite show or listen to a podcast that makes you laugh. If you're a fan of The Office and John Krasinski, he has a short program called Some Good News, and I linked it there for you. It's just uplifting and it's really funny. I recommend it. Spend time with your pet, or if you don't have one, watch YouTube videos of your favorite animal. And remember, it's okay to treat yourself. Let yourself eat treats, kill time with video games or mindless apps, and catch up on your favorite TV shows. Just remember everything in moderation. And remember, it's okay to feel sad and mad, scared, confused, stressed, frustrated, and helpless. It's okay to feel that way. Social self-care involves having supportive relationships, people who are trustworthy and who can be relied upon. And social self-care looks a little bit different for us right now as we are practicing social distancing and sheltering in place. So here are some ideas of how to stay socially engaged. You can stay connected with friends and family through texts, calls, or Zoom. Throw a virtual party using video chat apps. You can host a digital Sunday supper with friends via video chat. There are Facebook groups and online communities, social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just use it in ways that make you feel good. If you notice yourself starting to get down or depressed, take a break from social media. Netflix parties. It's a fun way to watch Netflix shows and movies with your friends. It's available through the Chrome browser, but it's free. There's a chat window where group members can comment and chat during the show. And there's a lot of online games listed for you. And remember that social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. It's important to stay engaged and stay connected with those we care about. Another way to practice self-care is through spiritual self-care, which involves the beliefs and values that are important to you and that guide your life. Here are just some tips or suggestions. You can meditate, pray, spend time in nature, especially now that it's starting to get warmer. Watch a sunrise or sunset. You can search for online religious services, practice gratitude like we talked about earlier, or read or listen to something inspirational. And lastly, we'll talk about environmental self-care. And this involves having an organized, clutter-free home environment, having clean clothes, and minimizing waste. So you can spend some time organizing your living space or your closet or your desk or your DVD collection. That'll give you something to do and take your mind off of any worries or other thoughts you might be having. It's important to remember to clean up after meals and to keep your kitchen nice and clean. Continue to do laundry and change your bed sheets. And it's also important to remember to still recycle whenever possible. So these are just some ideas to help you focus a little more on yourself during this time of social distancing and sheltering in place. Some of the self-care activities that we did pre-COVID-19 aren't currently available to us right now. So we have to rethink how we do certain things. So I really hope that this presentation and the ideas were helpful. Lastly, I just want to present you with the Counseling Center's information. The website is listed there. You can click on it and it will take you there. The phone number is there as well. The Counseling Center is offering telemental health services over video or the phone. And then there are additional services that the Counseling Center is still offering this semester. And you can just go to the website. Thank you very much.